Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video I am going to be giving you an update on some more transfer news. So there is lots of things to currently talk about. I'm going to be giving you a big massive update regarding Bruno Fernandes. Also going to be giving you the latest news regarding Marcus Rashford, because these reports are emerging out saying that he is a doubt for the game on Sunday against Liverpool, and also going to be giving you the latest news regarding Soumare, who currently plays for Lille. But we will start with Bruno Fernandes. So there's a lot of narratives coming out from the mainstream media saying that Manchester United have agreed personal terms with Bruno Fernandes. So it's looking very imminent now, he will be signing for Manchester United. I still believe negotiations are still going on between Manchester United and Sporting Lisbon, because I do believe a fee has not yet, come to an agreement. I do believe Bruno Fernandes is going to cost us around £60 million, or is it around £65 million? We're going to pay around £50 million up front, and there will be around £9 or £10 million in add-ons. And I think he's agreed a contract worth around £130,000 a week. I think it is a 5-year deal, so he's going to be under contract with the club until 2025. So this is very, very good news. Obviously, George Mendes was in the director's box at Old Trafford yesterday, spectating the Man United Wolves game. And George Mendes, of course, is hopeful, that Bruno Fernandes can complete his transfer to Man United. So basically, he's working on that. I think it was yesterday George Mendes was in London having negotiations and all of that. So this is very, very good news. And Bruno Fernandes has already confirmed that he does want to join Manchester United. His preference is a move to Man United, and I think his preference was totally comparison last summer, because last summer he actually wanted to join Tottenham. There's reports as well saying that Bruno Fernandes will be in the stands for the game against Liverpool on Sunday. It did say if Bruno Fernandes is to sign by 12 p.m. tomorrow, he will be making his debut on Sunday against Liverpool, but obviously he's not going to be signing on Friday, because I think Sporting Lisbon are determined to play him in their game against Benfica. Sporting Lisbon and Benfica is the biggest game in Portuguese football. But I think reports stemming from Portugal saying that we should sign Bruno Fernandes over the weekend. As it did report out last week, on last Friday, it says that Sporting Lisbon's president Federico Varandas, also his agent, Bruno Fernandes' agent, had obviously travelled to London. So negotiations, of course, now are an advanced stage. And obviously, near the beginning of this month, Solskjaer and Mike Phelan had both flown now to Portugal to watch Bruno Fernandes in action. So we have now identified him as our number one priority target. But like I said, I think Bruno Fernandes will be a great addition in our midfield. He's a player that can pass the ball well, he can create chances, he can also score goals, and I think definitely now he is at Premier League level. So when he does come to Manchester United, I'm very convinced that he can replicate at Man United what he's done in his couple of years with Sporting Lisbon, because Bruno Fernandes now is currently into his third season with Sporting Lisbon. And don't forget, was it last November, he extended his contract with Sporting Lisbon until 2023. So this is what Bruno Fernandes did. I'm probably adamant that he got that extension on his contract, reflecting on his good run performances. Sporting Lisbon will make a huge profit on the player, because Sporting Lisbon only paid around £7 million in from Sampdoria. He was plying his trade in Italy when he was younger, because he spent the entirety of his career in Italy, when he was younger. But Bruno Fernandes is only the age of 25. He's actually nailing his prime, and he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. We're basically seeing Bruno Fernandes as an current replacement for Pogba, because I'm still very adamant that Paul Pogba is going to be leaving the football club. Probably not in this January window, but it's imminent that he will leave in the summer transfer window. But I think, Bruno Fernandes, will blend in very, very well alongside Pogba and McTominay in our midfield. As you all know, there's been talks as well saying that, Marcus Rojo could be part of the deal. It's probably going to be a straight cash deal, to be quite honest with you. I don't think there's going to be any swap deals involved. I don't think anywhere. I know Sporting Lisbon recently, were demanding Marcus Rojo as part of the deal. And I think, he's one of the players, we are considering moving on, Marcus Rojo, because he's sustained quite a lot of injuries as a Man United player. Doesn't really get in the team now anywhere. And of course, he is a former Sporting Lisbon player. We paid around £16 million for him in 2014. Yes, we did, and there's also been talks saying that Andres Pereira, could be part-time in the deal. But yeah, so Bruno Fernandes should be announced sometime this weekend. So he's going to be our first signing in the January transfer window, and he's going to be our fourth signing overall under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. But yeah, like I said, I'm very excited about the prospect of him coming in. Don't get me wrong, we need more than Bruno Fernandes. We've got to address, the deficiencies in the squad. That midfield is one of the main priority areas. Maybe we should consider getting a striker in. Maybe there's possibly other areas in the squad as well that do need to be addressed. But Solskjaer recently come out and says he feels as though that Man United can still compete for the biggest players, despite the fact we've been inconsistent for the vast majority of this season, and we've been inconsistent mainly for the last 6 or 7 years. We've been inconsistent since the Alex Ferguson era, and I know Solskjaer's been under intense pressure, but obviously our board and Ed Woodward are determined to back him in this January transfer window, and they're also determined to back him this summer. So we're going to give him at least a couple of more windows, because Solskjaer is still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team, because analysing the vast majority of this team, it isn't Solskjaer's. The vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's. There's still players even from the Louis van Gaal era, and there's still matter from the David Moyes era. And, there's still a few players here from the Alex Ferguson era, so take that into account. We're going to spend a substantial amount this year on recruiting new players in, because we've obviously got the resources and the backing of the club, to spend a substantial amount, But yeah, Solskjaer, will still be here, this month and that. I don't know if he will be here at the end of the season. It depends what position we're in at the end of the season. If Solskjaer can exceed expectations this year, then I think the club will be determined to give him another season, because this is Solskjaer's first full season as Manchester United manager. He's been here now in total for 13 months, so he's been here over the year, and he's been permanent boss now for around 10 months, so it's nearly 10 months he has been a permanent Manchester United manager. But like I said, we've got some ambitions, and those ambitions are, the FA Cup's an ambition to us, because there's obviously a chance, where we could win the FA Cup. We're now into the 4th round of the competition. We either play Watford or Tranmere in the 4th round. And it would be good for us, to win the FA Cup. It's a chance of obviously, getting some silverware on the board. Solskjaer recently spoken about the importance of us, getting silverware on the board. And obviously, the Europa League, that's another route to Champions League football for us. And it's another chance of getting silverware on the board again. And obviously, the top 4 is a priority for us. Some United fans are very sceptical that we will get that top 4. But we are in that top 4 race, because we are only 5 points behind the top 4. So take that into account. But Champions League football is very imperative for next year, definitely. But we've got for next season, sorry. But, for us to be back being competitive and, for us to be, future title contenders, we've got to, recruit the right calibre players to Manchester United. And I think Bruno Fernandes is one of them, so it is a good start. The news regarding Marcus Rashford. Now, I updated you about this on my match reaction this morning for the Man United Wolves game. Rashford came off with a back injury. He were only on the pitch for around 15 minutes. He come on to replace Daniel James. I think he collided with Matt Doherty. This is how Rashford has sustained this back injury. Like I said, these reports emerging out now saying that Rashford could be a doubt for the game this Sunday against Liverpool. I think Rashford will be assessed over the next couple of days. And then, I just hope his injury is not too severe, because Rashford has been our best player this season, well, one of our best players. He's been in absolutely scintillating form. He scored 2 goals at the weekend against Norwich. That was his 200th appearance for the football club in all competitions. Rashford is on 63 senior goals since he broke into the senior squad back in 2016. I think he's on around 13 or 14 goals in the Premier League so far this season, is Rashford. So he's doing really, really well, and he is only the age of 22. Rashford was injured early on this season. I think he was also injured last season, so Rashford has now sustained quite a few injuries. There's quite a few United fans, blaming Solskjaer for, him coming off injured. I don't think the blame stems from Solskjaer. Maybe the one with Maguire, that could have been Solskjaer's fault, because Maguire's just recently recovered from a hip injury. But luckily, Harry Maguire's hip injury, wasn't too severe. But yeah, I'm hopeful, that Rashford's injury is not too severe, because we need him in that game on Sunday against Liverpool, without a shadow of a doubt. But like I said, Solskjaer gave his overarching view on it, and he said his decision to play Rashford had backfired, so maybe he feels as though he shouldn't have even brought Rashford on, But he didn't start the game, Marcus Rashford. And like I said, we've had a lot of injuries this season, and that's not excusable, of how inconsistent we've been. And, we've got a lot of young players in the squad that are developing and trying to improve. But, yeah, and, we've still got, obviously, injuries to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's out with a hamstring injury at the moment. Luke Shaw was out earlier on this season with a hamstring problem. We've obviously got Bay out. Solskjaer did confirm prior to the Wolves game that Bay could be back for Sunday against Liverpool. Bay so far has been out for the entirety of the season with a knee injury. Yes, he has. So he hasn't played since pre-season. And Bay sustained a lot of injuries as a Manchester United player. Bay did play for the reserves the other day. He also played for the under-21s last Friday, so he's close to returning for Man United. I think so too is Fosu Mensah, because he's been out with a knee injury. Like I said, Pogba and McTominay, I think are both out until February, so reflects on their injuries anyway. We do look very exposed in that midfield. Jesse Lingard's just recently come back from illness. Martial was out of illness not too long ago. So yeah, we've had a hell of a lot of injuries this season, and reflecting on that, Solskjaer has had to make alterations in the squad anyway. You saw match reaction for the Man United Wolves game. Like I said, it wasn't the best of performance from Manchester United. It wasn't as good as performance as the game against Norwich at the weekend. But all that matters is we did get the job done, and we have progressed into the 4th round of the competition, which is obviously very, very good. So it just shows we can compete against elite opposition. And I said overall this season anyway, we've done very, very well against elite opposition. We've done well against elite opposition this season. You've got to be honest. We've beaten Chelsea, we've beaten Man City and Tottenham, we've beaten Leicester. We drew with Liverpool. So we're really, really good against elite opposition, but we just need to replicate that more against lower opposition, to be fair and that. We need to replicate that against lower opposition, but I admire Wolves because, you can say over the course of the 180 minutes that, Wolves were the better team, and, you can say Man United got them a bit fortuitous, but all that matters is the result. And I thought a lot of aspects of the game yesterday night did replicate the game at Molineux. The only comparison was that, we registered a couple of shots on target. We didn't register one shot on target in the game at Molineux. The only goal of the game came from Juan Mata. I've got to say, Juan Mata is in scintillating form at the moment. Juan Mata is... he scored yesterday. It was a very good goal, by the way. Good assist from Martial, and Juan Mata had chipped the goalkeeper. He chipped Ruddy. The goal came from a mistake from Wolves. But, there's question marks now saying, should we start Juan Mata on Sunday? Juan Mata hasn't got the pace anymore, but he can still perform really, really well. He can get involved in goals. He can score goals himself. He provided 2 assists, don't forget, at the weekend against Norwich. And I don't think he was brilliant yesterday, but it was good to see him get the goal and that. And I said, we didn't really give enough service to the attacking players. Juan Mata didn't get the ball enough. Daniel James didn't really get the ball enough. I think he had a couple of bright spells. We deployed him a lot of long balls, especially in that first half. But there was some good individual performances, to be fair. Like I said, defensively we were good. Bissaka at right back were fantastic. He bombarded forward well. He's been a good signing for us. Maguire did well. Lindelof did well. They both did very, very well at the back. They've blended in very well together in our back line. Brandon Williams played really, really well. We now view Brandon Williams as our first choice left back. I think he's a much better solution than Luke Shaw. Matic wasn't too bad in the midfield, but as you all know, I've still got a lot of concerns about Nemanja Matic, sorry. Yesterday that was his 100th appearance for the football club. Romero basically had nothing to do in the game. I think prior to the Raul Jimenez chance that Wolves had in the first half. Obviously, Wolves had a goal disallowed. It was a handball from Raul Jimenez, building up to Pedro Neto's goal. They also had a goal disallowed in their 1-0 defeat to Liverpool. But overall, it's very, very good, that we are into the 4th round of the competition. Like I said, Solskjaer has finally beaten Wolves as a manager, because prior to the game, Wolves were unbeaten in their last 5 games against us, and I don't think Wolves have won at Old Trafford for around 40 years. From a Wolves perspective, they'll be a bit disappointed, because they would have wanted to enjoy another good cup run, like they did last season, because last season Wolves progressed to the semi-finals of the FA Cup for the first time in 21 years. But I've got to admire Wolves. They've got some good players. They've also got a really good manager in Nuno Santo. They are into the Europa League knockout stages, which is very, very good to their standards, because last season Wolves finished 7th. So in that aspect, they got automatic qualification for the Europa League. But they are a very, very decent side, and there's a couple of players in Wolves' team that I would be determined to bring to Man United. I'd definitely take Raul Jimenez. I'd also take Ruben Neves in that. I think Jota's also a decent player for them. Jota's obviously been injured recently. But now it's all eyes down on the game on Sunday. So now I'm going to give you the latest news regarding Boubakary Soumare, who currently plays for Lille. Now, I've just been reading some reports. I actually read it in Sky Sports, and like I've said, Sky Sports is a very reliable source. Very reliable source, yeah. And it says that Man United and Chelsea are in for Boubakary Soumare. It also recently said Arsenal, Real Madrid and Valencia were in for him, but now Arsenal, Madrid and Valencia have dropped him out of the race. So it's just Man United and Chelsea that are in for him. Boubakary Soumare is set to decide. He's set to decide by the end of the month whether to sign for Manchester United or Chelsea. So either way, whether he comes to Chelsea or Man United, either way he's going to be he is going to be leaving Lille. He's going to be leaving Lille. He's only 20 years of age. I don't really know much about the player. I know he's a box-to-box midfielder, and he's done really, really well in that box-to-box role. But he's got some really good attributes. He's good at tracking back. He's creative. He's very tenacious. His passing accuracy is also, very, very good. And I think he's got around 2.5 years left on his contract with Lille. So maybe he could decide to come to Manchester United. We're probably not seeing him as an adequate replacement for Ander Herrera, because of course Ander Herrera left last summer. Obviously, before he was at Lille, he was at PSG. He was actually not in PSG's youth academy. So that's the latest news regarding him. As far as I'm aware, Chelsea have not signed anybody yet in this January transfer window. Chelsea did initially have a transfer ban, don't forget, but I think their transfer ban had got uplifted. They did sign Pulisic, didn't they, last summer, did Chelsea. They got him in January 2019, but obviously he got loaned back to Dortmund for the remainder of the season. But yeah, so I think he's going to be coming to the Premier League, either way. But I think he's probably good enough for the Premier League. I've seen some of his stats, and like I said, he's got some very, very good physical attributes. But yeah, so he's now another player that Manchester United are currently in for. I give you the news regarding Ashley Young this morning. He's moved now to Inter Milan. He's in doubt because I think it's something to do with a swap deal with Roma, and I do believe that's now being agreed between Inter Milan and Roma. It did say Inter Milan are expected to sign Young at the end of the season when his current contract term expires. I think Young still wants to make the move to Inter Milan. No. Also, it says his former club Villa have been interested. West Ham are now in for him. Crystal Palace are in for him. But I think Young will leave at the end of the season because I think we're reluctant to let him go in this January transfer window. And I think the main factor reason why that is reflects on the amount of injuries that Man United have got. Don't forget, we recently offered Young a new one-year extension to convince him to stay, but Young had turned down this new one-year extension. Young is now into his 9th season as a Manchester United player. He has enjoyed many years here. And obviously when he was younger, he was predominantly a winger, but as he was developing, he got transformed into a fullback. But Ashley Young has initially lost his place in the team because since the arrival of Wan-Bissaka, he has been our first choice. He has been our first choice right back. Young is 34, he's nearly 35, so you can say he has passed his sell-by date at the football club, definitely, But I think, there's definitely no more players that need to leave the club anywhere. I think this year, we need to get rid of around 6 or 7 players. And I think Solskjaer is determined to let players go as long as, incomings are guaranteed for this month. So, yeah, and I think, the players that need to go, I think Young needs to go. I think Phil Jones needs to go because he's one of the problematic players. I also think Rojo needs to go. Matic needs to be moved on. Chong needs to be moved on. I don't think Chong's at that level yet. And, I think it's going to take him time to emulate to that level. Jesse Lingard needs to be moved on because I think Solskjaer and Mike Phelan are becoming infuriated with him. So players need to be sold. But I think, I also, would be determined to keep players at Man United. But I said overall anyway, I think we need to see a variety of changes at the club. I think we need to get rid of Ed Woodward. We need to get rid of the board. They replicate each other, Ed Woodward and the board, because they are both liabilities. I think we also need to get rid of the Glazers. A lot of United fans were protesting Ed Woodward and the Glazers. Ed Woodward and the Glazers. And I think you can say we need a change of management. But obviously, we're not going to sack Solskjaer at the moment. But I'm very sceptical, that he will see out his 3-year contract at the football club. So yeah. And it obviously got revealed yesterday how much it would cost Man United to sack Solskjaer, and it did say we'd have to pay around £5 million to get rid of him. So that's around £15 million less than what we paid to get rid of Jose Mourinho. I think we paid around £9 million to get rid of Louis van Gaal. Obviously, it did say that we're considering appointing Mauricio Pochettino in at the end of the season. Obviously, it's likely he will be our next manager if Solskjaer is to be sacked by the football club. And I like Solskjaer a lot, like I said, with him being a club legend in that aspect, our board are soft in our stance. Disregarding being a club legend, he would have been sacked by now, would Solskjaer? Definitely would have been sacked by now. He was a great player for us for 11 years, but I just feel as though as a manager, he's totally a comparison to how he was as a player. That's my perception on that. But we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers anywhere. And on this channel as well, your preview for the Man United Liverpool game is going to be coming up. That should be tomorrow, the preview. This is going to be a very, very big game against Liverpool. Despite the fact that Liverpool are strides ahead of us at the moment, and we're not on their level, it's still the biggest game in English football because they are the two most successful clubs in England, historically. Liverpool are, of course, are 27 points in front of us. They're 16 points in front of Leicester, 14 points in front of City, and they've still got a game in hand. Liverpool have won 20 games out of 21. They're unbeaten in 38 Premier League games. They're unbeaten in 51 games at Anfield, so obviously, Anfield is a fortress. And, I don't expect us to get anything from Liverpool on Sunday, but it would be fantastic if we could, but I just don't see that happening. Solskjaer is set for his first appearance at Anfield as Man United manager. Jurgen Klopp's record against us is not that good, though. He's, I think, managed... I think he's faced us like 10 times as Jurgen Klopp, since he's taken over at Liverpool, and he's only won 2. He's lost 2, and of course there has been around 6 draws between the sides. Liverpool are on course to win their first Premier League title ever, and they haven't won it all in all for around 30 years. Solskjaer's obviously going to make changes from the 1-0 win against Wolves yesterday, but hopefully Rashford can be available for the game. I'm very, very hopeful. Obviously last season at Anfield it was 3-1 to Liverpool. That game obviously ended Jose Mourinho's 2.5-year tenure at Man United, but I just can't see us getting anything from the game. But so that's everything to update you today, guys. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.